Good morning. It is Sunday, November 12th, 2017. This is the Bulldog Unchained podcast. I am your host, the King of Village, Bulldog Malenko. And as always, I got Dirtnap Dave.
Hello.
And Knubsie Slow. What's going on, man? So, you had a late night working?
Yeah, I took a nap. I didn't mean to take a nap. I just fell asleep after work.
Greasing them lanes kicked your ass?
Yeah, they look good though. Look good though. Kids have fun. It's Saturday.
Kids have fun.
Kids eat free day. They have fun.
Gotta make sure them bumpers are all working and shit.
Yeah, make sure you keep them motherfuckers popping up inside. Yeah. Lane 7. That's the, if you don't know that, bowling alley.
That bully.
That bowling alley.
That's the Knubsie slow lane.
Yeah, they could tell because it's like no traffic.
He's the master of the granny roll. You know, the 34-second fucking bowling, the bowling
slowest roll ever.
Way dumb, and it just barely taps into the pin.
It stops at the first pin.
Yeah.
Like the ball just sticks right there. God damn.
Yeah.
So what's been going on this week, guys?
Not much. Just working.
I had a flat.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's right. I saw your pimpin' ass donut picture.
It was the cleanest one ever. Telling you, my donut is clean.
It is clean. Well, it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna get like 3 more donuts, and I say fuck it, I'm rocking this up.
I'm just gonna rock the temporaries.
Yeah.
Like, so what? I have to replace tires every 5,000 miles. Who gives a shit?
Nobody cares.
And I can't go over 55.
Like my oil. I like saying the word oil instead of oil.
Oil.
The way people say it.
Or oil. I need the oil change.
Oil change?
Oil change?
Oil.
Yeah.
It's oil.
Yeah.
But I still like the way people say oil, or boil, or soul, or toil.
Wash.
Yeah, wash. Wash. Yeah. Yeah.
The washing machine.
Take out the wash. I like to put R's in random words. Like, what's his name in, oh God. Dr. Steve Brule. There it is. Yeah. He would put random R's in his words. He'd say like pizza. It was so fun. I loved him. Yeah, it was John C. Reilly was just amazing in that show. They did like 3 or 4 seasons. I don't know. You know how Adult Swim is?
Right.
Like stuff just goes away.
And then it comes back.
And it stops for 18 months, and then King of the Hill starts. And yeah, Rick and Morty's the best. It's so good. I actually have a Rick and Morty hoodie on right now.
Oh, nice.
Well, bam.
With the N1, not wear that shirt again, please.
It's not an N1 shirt, man.
All I saw was an ND, so my first thought was the N1.
N1. No, it's
Under Armour.
So it's overpriced.
Right.
Under Armour, but
Under Armour. That means this shirt was extra expensive.
Under Armour going out of business sale. That's what they're doing. They are.
Who?
Under Armour.
What?
Shit, dude. Yeah, they're hurting. Their business model is fucked because they don't have an identity. Because they sell so many different types of clothes. Like Nike has the Jordans that they can get.
Rely on. Yeah.
Exactly. Nike's an established brand. Under Armour hasn't found that voice yet, where they still are really high quality. They're competing for a market share that only has so much.
How is there
Nike
not
commands so much of it.
Under Armour
Their IPO
covers everything. Under Armour covers everything from construction workers to elite top-level athletes.
They're putting a lot of they're hedging a lot of their bets in this ugly ass Stephen Curry shoe.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's bad.
There's been other people talking.
It is
about
bad.
It's not, yeah, they don't have an identity, and that's.
I mean, at least they're not the balls.
Yeah, like Reebok has the UFC now. They've been basketball. They've done I think Reebok's going to get out of the UFC deal though.
Really?
They got a lot of flack for it because of how terrible it was for the fighters. They got a ton of bad press for the pay distribution. Reebok was just Reebok. The only company that could be on any fighter in the UFC was just Reebok.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, that was bad publicity.
Oh yeah, you just missed a lot of endorsement deals.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Even with the terrible licensing fees that the UFC was charging these companies to be a part of fighters' walkout clothes and like that. Even with all of that, those fighters were still receiving a large amount of that sponsorship money.
Right.
UFC was like, no, motherfucker, we're going to go ahead and become a worldwide entity ourselves. And the only thing you can wear in our octagon, you want to fight in front of our audience, you're wearing our clothes.
So you know what's going to happen if that deal holds up. You know what's going to happen. The fighters are going to fucking unionize on them, and like the NFL. NFL, you can only wear Nike now, and it used to be Reebok before Nike.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's great,
Uh-huh.
but now you've got the players' union, and you're going to have to pay more money per contract per fighter.
Right.
And you're going to have to compensate for any missed endorsement opportunities that cannot be obligated or engaged in the octagon. There are players that have endorsement deals that could be utilized on the field. They're not allowed to because of their NFL contract. Well, that's part of the NFLPA, the union, the NFL Players Association, where part of their contract structuring has to cover basically missed endorsement opportunities.
Okay. I don't know enough about that part.
You know what happens if the fighters unionize at UFC?
The same type of agreement.
UFC doesn't have that kind of money.
Okay.
To pay all these fighters like that. Because you're talking, there would become what's called league minimum and then vet minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, you would have
how they pay the players now in the NFL and the the Major League Baseball.
Yep. And NHL,
the hockey,
and NBA. Yep.
Yeah, I remember Tom Berenger in Major League talking about making league minimum as a catcher whenever he was at the dinner with the people.
Yep.
And we're like, hey, cool, what do you do? How much? Well, what do you make? A league minimum. Because the players union.
Yeah. That's real
shit. Otherwise, it'd have been like Animal Farm in that motherfucker.
Right, and I'm going to tell you right now, Dana White and the powers that be that control the UFC, they are ill prepared if these fighters, and all it takes for a union talk, like the union to get in motion, three fighters say, hey, we want to form a fight union.
According to who?
That's just how a union works. At a Walmart, if there are at least 3 members of the staff of any Walmart that agree that they want to start a union, which Walmart has an entire legal team dedicated to shutting that shit down. But how Walmart does it, they try to intimidate and scare you out of a union, whereas if anyone did it, Walmart, if they proceeded with it, Walmart basically then has to shut the fuck up. And you cannot fire these people for wanting to create a union. Now you've got retaliation on your hands, things like that. Even in Indiana, a right-to-work state, if you were to fire someone after union talks, you're fucked.
Right.
That's bad.
It's a little bit more to... It's a little bit more than just taking 3 people to unionize a work.
Well, no, but not to unionize, but to get that ball rolling.
Okay.
There has to be 3 people that agree that they want to start a union, and then they can get attorneys involved. And let me tell you, union attorneys will jump at that shit. Jump at the opportunity to unionize anything. And so you get 3 fighters, well then all of a sudden they're explaining to the other fighters with now attorneys why they need to create a fighters union. And most of them are going to go, wait a minute, so we're going to get paid more. They can also fight for health benefits from the company. Like they can basically say, hey look, here's what we want. And if the UFC says no, and all of the fighters have banded together, guess what doesn't happen? The next fucking UFC show. Right. It stops. All of these dudes declare a strike.
And then they'll just bring some more people in, like Major League Baseball did.
Yeah, sure. 90s. Yeah, and how well did that work out? It killed baseball.
Well, it's like baseball is doing pretty good today.
finally, again, go back and look at how much money baseball lost, especially after the lockout. There was the strike, and then there was the lockout.
They've been selling out stadiums, dude. Those have been money makers for years. They've been in the black for years. A lot of those teams.
But hold on,
maybe some of the smaller markets.
You're also talking about a sport that has existed for
exactly.
How long?
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Whereas the UFC,
that ball's going to keep rolling. They're going to still have shows.
It
no matter who it is.
But here's the thing: when you have to run an entire, say that these fighters unionized or declared that they wanted to unionize, UFC doesn't meet their demands. UFC has a giant pay-per-view coming up.
They just cancel the pay-per-view. They've done it before.
And then what happens when the next one? All they've got is scrubs. What's the buy rate going to be?
They build more people. They build more people.
Maybe
that's what they do. They make more stars because the UFC nobody's bigger than the UFC. I mean, besides Connor McGregor.
Fedor. Dude, you got people that were outside of UFC for years that made other companies. The companies didn't make them.
Right, sure.
UFC is one of those rare instances.
The UFC has succeeded in spite of any of those people not fighting for UFC. Very much so. Fedor's numbers that he's ever had watched, his highest number doesn't even touch fucking anything that the UFC's done.
Right.
So yeah. But where has the UFC failed in the regard of not having fucking Fedor? Fedor came to the States and got knocked out.
And so you talk about McGregor. You know what it's going to take to get McGregor to fight in the UFC.
Promotion.
No.
Co-pro.
Well, they're going to have to offer him a percentage of the company.
That's what he's co-promoting, or at least the card. He's going to have to get a big old chunk of that card.
Oh, they're probably going to have to approach Connor McGregor with like 5 to 10% of the company. Yeah. The dude just made $100 million. The UFC could never even touch a tenth of that to pay Connor McGregor for one fight. No way. UFC could never pay a fighter $10 million for one fight. That's not happening.
What is it value?
I don't know. I don't know if with percentage points and everything from pay-per-view buys and all of that stuff, that guys haven't already made more than that fighting for the UFC.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the guaranteed upfront money. For one fight. To guarantee, like, if Conor McGregor goes, yeah, I'll come back and fight, I'll come back and defend, I want $10 million for that first fight.
Uh-huh.
And how many fighters of that caliber sign a one-fight deal? Not many.
Right.
He's going to want 2 or 3 fights, so you're talking now a guarantee of $30 million up front that has to be paid for him to even show up. That's a huge chunk of change for the UFC. That's not small potatoes. $30 million. That's a hefty fucking.
They're gonna bring more than that in tourism money to the city that they host the event in. Just from fucking, the airlines are gonna make that much just in flights come from Ireland coming to see the motherfucker.
Yeah, but that's not going to the UFC.
Shit. Going to the towns that they're in, you think how hard it is for them to get people to approach them to say, hey, please host our fucking event. You think they're not getting fucking money for that? Money from the gate, money from, so many different streams of income off of that product, including the Reebok money. It's just the icing on the cake. They get a touch, they get all the merchandise, all of that stuff. So many ways to make money off of that fighting, and they've learned, and they've had 20 years to learn how to do it.
But hold on, here's the other downside: the UFC is not like any other professional sport.
Uh-huh.
The UFC, one fight can ruin you.
Well, yeah.
What if they pay the $30 million for the 3 fights up front? Conor McGregor comes back in that first fight and gets his ass whooped. Your buys for the next Conor McGregor fight, they're going to be down. Everybody's like, especially if he gets worked over handily by someone, fuck. If he loses one of those belts, somebody takes it.
He's not 145 pound champion anymore. Max Holloway is the recognized 145 pound champion.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. Yeah. So at 155.
Yeah.
But still, let's say he comes back, defends that belt, and that's it.
Somebody smokes him.
Yeah. Now, when
it happens,
your return on investment is shot.
They're not going to do upfront money like that.
But that's just it. Conor McGregor's the kind of person now that can demand it, or Conor McGregor can say, fuck it, I'll stick with boxing.
Or just not.
Conor McGregor's next.
Or just ride on a fucking boat for the rest of his life.
Right. And he can sponsor and pay for build other fighters. If I were Conor McGregor,
playing touch butt with that dude with a long ponytail.
If I had that money, if I had Conor McGregor money now, if I was McGregor Entertainment,
okay,
I would literally create my own stable and start having fighters trained and groomed the same way I was by the same people.
He has that gym
already.
Right. That's the greatest thing about him. That's the thing that people
really
love about him. One of the best things that he never went to a big team. He still trained at the same gym that he was training at when he was making $187 every 2 weeks or $137 or whatever it was that he named his yacht. He named his yacht a number, and it was the number that was what he made a week from welfare.
Yeah.
While he was at his poorest.
He was on the dole.
Yeah.
But
that's fantastic.
But that's just it. Like Connor's next fight, like if he goes back to boxing, Connor's next fight, he can literally demand $50 million, and because of the spectacle that he is, he will get it. And boxing has that money to throw $50 million at Conor McGregor and be like, yeah, okay, let's do this.
The next time he boxes, I don't think he goes outside of 5 rounds. If he boxes again.
You think he'll smoke some dude?
No.
Or you think somebody's just going to come in, work him the fuck over? Yeah.
Pissed off,
like,
smoking.
Yeah. They're not going to be that defensive Floyd Mayweather clamshell fighter. Mm-hmm. They're going to come in and just swing for the fence.
Conor hits hard, but the way guys
Conor hits hard for two rounds.
The way guys are able to angle their, just being
the head movement of a professional boxer is unreal.
It's so amazing. It's so what I saw Floyd Mayweather do to Conor it was fantastic, and it really turned into a spectacle after the 5th round. After he hit him, the only shot that he had was
with that uppercut.
And a couple of minutes, within the first round or two, that was his shot.
And Floyd shut down on him and just shoulder rolls, clamshell, like nothing Conor was doing was coming. Yeah.
Yep. And then
let him gas himself out.
And he just started popping.
Him
in the stomach.
If Floyd wanted to, Floyd could have knocked him out in the 5th round. I honestly believe that. Conor's hands weren't staying up anymore at that point. Like you could see that he was physically having to swing his hands up in front of him. I went back and watched it again like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, man, there was a lot of hype while we were watching it live. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he's lasted this long. If you watch it again, you realize Floyd is simply playing with him. That is all it is. All it is. It was like someone making a kid feel good. Like a professional athlete making a kid feel good. Like, okay, you got to sink a 3-pointer over Michael Jordan. That's because he didn't swat that ball into your fucking face and break your nose. Like
there was an instance when Sugar Ray Leonard boxed a reporter.
I watched it.
And the reporter popped him in a jab.
And then started doing his windmill and showing off. Yes.
Sugar Ray said, "No, all right, this is what's going to happen."
And Sugar Ray hadn't boxed in
he got 18 months. When he got hit, it just turned. You just see the killer coming.
Sugar Ray's smile goes away. Yeah, and he just...
And he turns it on. And he turns the 1,000-yard stare on and then drops him with a body shot. And it hurts him.
Yeah.
You see the pain. And if you've never been hit with a proper body shot...
Right, square in the gut.
It's either the liver or the ribs. It's a game changer. It's a humbler. You become a very humble creature whenever you are socked in the gut.
And you can't stand up straight.
You know that you are crumpled to the ground. You are at the mercy of the world. you understand why dogs look at you when they poop. It's like, please make sure that I'm
make sure I'm
right
okay.
now.
Yeah.
Please don't
I'm
let
vulnerable.
anybody come and eat me. I am very much at the mercy of the nature right now.
The elements
Yeah.
against me.
Yeah, it's a vulnerable spot.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. I actually just saw that video this week again, and I decided to watch. It popped up in my feed, and
I watched it as well.
I was just like, I knew. I was like, it says, this dude pisses off Sugar Ray Leonard. I was like, I remember seeing this when I was a kid. I'll watch this again. And I just knew when it was coming and everything. And as soon as and they told him, don't get cute with him.
Yeah.
Like, if you keep it light, whatever, he'll just have fun with you. And at the beginning, Sugar Ray is laughing. He's dancing around with the guy. They're just lightly tagging each other.
What happens is Sugar Ray pops him. And he barely touches him. But the dude wanted to get in the fucking ring with a champion of the world.
Yeah.
But
who also hadn't had a fight in over a year.
He tapped him. He just tapped him. He just reached out and tapped him. And that pissed that guy off.
The reporter, yeah.
And the reporter leaned in.
And he bopped him in the eye.
Shoulder forward and pow.
Yeah,
and
straight
stung him.
Pivot.
And he put his shoulder into it and everything. And Sugar Ray just lost all of it. He was just like, okay.
Well, and the other thing that he did.
We are fighting now.
He started doing that windmill wind up that Sugar Ray used to do. Taunting him with his own thing after he hit him. Like, oh yeah, I got you. And Sugar Ray goes, okay. Well, that's all he said. Okay. And his face is just stone out. And just, he's jabbing this dude, and then right hook. Like, it was a right uppercut into his gut. And this dude just drops. Yep. And you could tell, Sugar Ray,
you let a towel go.
Sugar Ray maybe hit him at about 40%. He didn't even deliver.
Oh, no, he dug. That was a 60% shot.
It definitely was not a Sugar Ray in the ring shot, like fight shot.
He caught him pretty good.
Yeah, he pulled it. He pulled it enough not to kill him, but he let enough go to let him know
you're
fucked.
World champion.
Yeah, dude, I'm the
best
champ
in the world at this.
It was pretty great.
Yeah, I'm Sugar Ray fucking Leonard. I'm gonna be in the Hall of Fame. I'm the champion of the world right now, and you're fucking with me. Silliness. It was just silliness. That's what you get. You gotta be humble. It takes getting hit in the gut. The guy, I'm pretty sure he probably never got another physical altercation with another person again in his life.
After I watched that, I had to go to YouTube, of course, and I just pulled up Mike Tyson's greatest KOs. Man, if you ever want to see the best head movement that's ever existed in the science of boxing.
Where's he going? Oh shit, I'm out.
Dude, Mike Tyson, and he was a heavyweight. He was like 215, 220 pounds, somewhere in there.
Light and vicious.
Oh my God, and his head movement was just, he would stay still for 5 to 10 seconds, and you throw the punch, and he's gone. And you're getting hit 4 or 5 times before you can recover.
The technique that I saw that I just really loved this week was Muhammad Ali. It was a jab. He throws a jab at, his opponent throws a jab, and he comes back over because he was a southpaw, wasn't he?
I believe.
Did he fight southpaw or did he fight?
Well, I think he could switch.
Either way.
But his reach was like 6 inches longer than everyone else.
The opponent would throw a jab, and he would just barely touch. It would barely just touch him, and he'd come back over the top with this either overhand left or right, and just the way that he connected with so many guys. Nick Diaz.
And he always hit him in the eye. Yeah. Always. It was never forehead, never nose, never the mouth. Always square in the fucking eye.
That's the way Nick Diaz fights. Nick Diaz took a lot of inspiration from Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Well, Nick Diaz can absorb punishment, too.
Yeah.
Both of the Diaz brothers, they can eat some shit, man.
They're some tough motherfuckers. Those are some of my favorite martial artists ever.
Dude. Not even martial artists, just fighter. Like, just those dudes can eat shit, and you don't know if you're going to win.
You never will. You never beat them.
No, you don't beat them.
You can knock them out cold. They're going to wake up. Fuck you, bitch. Let's do it again.
Yep. Let's go get it right now.
Right now. I ain't even fucking
Meanwhile, you
tired,
can't
bitch.
even hold your hands up anymore.
Yeah.
Diaz brothers get up and be like, fuck it, let's do it again.
Right now. Fuck you. I ain't done.
Could you imagine?
You gotta kill this.
Could you imagine going to school with the Diaz brothers?
Yes.
And
we'd have been best friends.
no, but I mean, like,
I'd have been best friends. I would have made sure. I would have made fucking 100% sure. Nick and Nate, that we was cool.
But I'm talking
about, what's your favorite sports team? That's my favorite sports team. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? That's my favorite flavor of ice cream. What's your favorite kind of jeans? Those are my favorite jeans too. Oh, you guys like mountain biking? Fuck yes. Let's sign up for the decathlon. Let's go. Yeah, I'm all about it, man. Forward fold, check me out.
No, touch my chest to my kneecap.
I'm gonna go. 2 exhales, 2 inhales, exhales.
Right. But I'm talking about just sitting in class, and you know how the swell starts going from class to class, like, oh man, Nick Diaz is gonna fight so and so after school. You were never gonna miss seeing either one of those things, even before they were. I mean, they were always fighting like that.
They came up.
Yeah.
They're nice guys, though. They really
are. They?
I've met Nate. And I know that Nick is the same way. If you're not his opponent, he's fucking cool with you. It's honestly, they are both.
Did you see the video where Nick Diaz tried to steal Rampage's side piece?
Yes.
And Rampage, you could tell, was perturbed.
Yes.
But also did not advance and go after Nick Diaz, because I think Rampage realized Nick might whoop my ass.
Nick will fight me forever.
If I knock the sandwich out of Nick's hand, he may kill me.
I have not been doing enough cardio to even talk to this kid right now. Because to Rampage, Nick's a kid. Because Rampage was in the fight game. He's been in the fight game forever too. That was my guy from Memphis. Whenever he fought Sakuraba, I was a fan. I was training at the time. And to have somebody from Memphis fight in Pride, it was a big thing, and it was cool. It was a good time. It was a good time to be a martial arts fan and practitioner. Those early Pride days, kicks to the head, shit was going on.
Yeah.
It was freak show fights. Don Fry was just steroided out of his mind. Vanderlei Silva was just steroided out of his mind. These killers just stomping each other in the face.
And then you had this Russian special forces dude that comes out of nowhere. He was literally a commander of a death squad, Mirko Krokop.
Oh yeah, from Croatia.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mirko. He came in after Fedor did.
Dude, one thing I love, so they used to talk Vanderlei Silva's stare, like his stare down in the middle of the ring or the cage, just intimidated everyone. And Joe Rogan, that's one of his favorite things to point out. He goes, watch this video of Mirko Krokop and Vanderlei Silva staring down in the middle of the ring. Vanderlei had to look away because he literally knew this man wants to kill me. For no reason other than I'm standing in front of him right now. Mirko just stood there. Vanderlei's still doing his bounce around, trying to keep his stone cold stare on his face.
Was this the first time they fought?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mirko just stood there like a statue, not moving, just going. I mean, just laser beams cutting through Vanderlei's head. I don't even think Krokop saw Vanderlei in front of him. He was straight looking through him at the back wall of the arena. He didn't even fucking see him.
Left
he
leg
did not
hospital. Right leg cemetery. That was his fucking thing. Dude.
Yeah.
That was his thing. He would kick you in the face.
And he told you he was going to.
He was Billy Jack.
It was like Billy Jack shit, man.
Yeah. No, like Billy Jack. It was like the actual.
I said.
He would bounce a kick off of your head and just down you go. Down.
Which is exactly what he did to Vanderlei.
And what was so great is in his fall from grace in the UFC, because he came over to the UFC and he fought Gabriel Gonzaga and lost by head kick.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Head kick.
Nasty. But I think Crow
under.
Cop was like he was just he wasn't in his prime.
And the time
If Crow
change
Cop
is a
had
big
come in,
difference, too.
if Crow Cop had come in 2 years after he was in prime, had he come in like around that time, a little bit sooner, I think
while he was in Pride, whenever he won the heavyweight Grand Prix, that was the time.
He should have been in UFC.
That was the time. That was when he was at his best. When he beat Josh Barnett, he whooped the shit out of Josh. Josh could not hold him down, couldn't do anything with him. And I think Mirko came off the juice to go in the UFC because they drug tested.
Yeah.
So in Pride, it was.
It's fair. Well, look at Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp is juiced to the gills.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the dude is almost 400 pounds and has abs. That does not happen naturally. You're never getting that unless you're on that trend. You're on that side of all. Yeah, like Jinder Mahal. I do a lot of variants of push-ups and you do a lot of variants of side of all Anderson.
He pushes up the plunger.
Yeah, exactly.
Right into his ace.
Exactly.
Him and Sheamus and all those guys that eat Nutrition Solutions. Nutrition Solutions. That's what I said. Nutrition Solutions. Yes, it's a meal prep company.
Yeah, they're eating raw gear.
Yeah. No, I got the meals from them for a while. High in sodium, a little high in sodium because of the preservatives and
the processing.
And I was eating it through the summer, but the heavy temperature, it was humid and the boxes would sweat a lot more. And coming through the post office, they'd get turned on their side and shit. And they'd come on my porch and be half leaked out, and I'd throw 10 of them away, and it was like $170 a week to do that. So I just started meal prepping.
God, man.
Yeah. It was to save
time.
You
also know
to save time.
You also know that being a Russian athlete, I mean, Crow Cop was part of the state-run doping scandal. All of Russia's athletes in every Olympics ever, the state sponsored anabolic steroids. Like you were on a steroid regimen.
Right.
And they had the markers already planted in the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA. They already had the markers planted in there so that they could send clean specimens and get their athletes cleared. There's a whole, Icarus? Yeah, the Icarus documentary on Netflix. Oh my God. This dude literally was going to start juicing so he could win this, Ironman mountain bike thing. He wanted to see how good he could do. But they drug test, and so he's filming a documentary as he's training, and he hooks up with this Russian, Grigory.
Don't know.
Grigory
Lots of consonants, not very many
vowels. I think it's Grigory Volchenkov, I think is what it was. Anyway.
See? Arranged in a very peculiar way to my mouth shapes.
But anyway, while he's doing this documentary, the whole thing comes out about Russia being banned from the Rio Games.
The recent one?
Yeah, dude, the whole Russian team was
disqualified.
Yeah, eliminated.
Because if they were
all
of them.
Even those little girl gymnasts, juiced to the gills.
Hot as hell.
Fucking hot looking like Cena. I'm here to gymnast.
If she dies, she dies.
If he dies, he dies.
I must break you.
This little unparalleled boy. This will be my good channel. I shall call you Susan.
Is that your Russian accent?
Yeah, it's
so fucking good.
It's almost as good as Dave's Chewbacca.
Nothing's as good as that.
How's that Chewbacca go?
No, you guys know. Play the sound clip. That was your Russian accent?
Like Bubba Ray Dudley if he was Russian.
Yeah, well, that's how I think all Russian stuff.
When did he drop the stutter? Was it in between? Was it before they came to the?
It was before the invasion thing. No, he was in WWF because that's one of the things The Rock did to him. He goes, "Who are these two, Rudy Boots? You should know by now. We are the It doesn't matter. And he punches him right in the face.
That and the fucking My Name is Kane.
I am a Rudy Poo candy ass.
I like the NXT go.
Oh, Kane can talk. The big red retard can finally speak. Good shit.
That's my favorite thing from South Park. It's coming right for us.
It's coming right for us.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Young Kenny.
Oh my god! Here we go.
You bastards.
So terrible. Referencing season 1 of South Park.
Fuck yeah.
Like some topical motherfucker.
Yeah.
Season 1 was probably like the best season.
What?
The Alien Probe.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
I've watched the entire.
yep.
I
Me
watched all
too.
of it. I was a freshman in high school.
Coon and Friends is still, that may be one of the greatest, like, arcs that they've done.
3 episodes.
Yeah. Well, it actually spans across like 5 or 6. There are like 5 or 6 episodes,
And now
but
a video game too.
yeah, fractured.
Fractured but whole.
Yeah, that's evidently on Black Friday. That's going to be $25.
Boom! Where? Target? GameStop?
I think everywhere. I think it's even on the marketplace. It's on the
I'm
marketplace. I'm just going to download it.
I'm going to get it. Yeah, I have to. If it's only that much. See, I don't want to play video games, man. 2018, I'm setting the world on
But
fire.
there are some.
That's what I'm saying. No,
Well,
fuck
hey,
that.
look,
I ain't
you know
got
what's
time
funny?
for that.
You know what's funny? Yeah, like I've got Assassin's Creed Origins. The last time I played it was last Friday.
See, yeah.
I've been just doing all this shit here, getting stuff
So
ready
much
for our surging
Because
advancement
if
that's
you
coming.
spend your time, man, if you spend your time making other people money, you ain't making none for yourself. And all you're doing when you're playing fucking video games is making other people money. Because that's their video game. It's their fucking PlayStation. It's the electricity that you're using to play it, and you're not fucking getting anything done. I'm all about trying to make 2007 or 2018, the rest of 2017, making the most of every 24. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's why I'm so conflicted about buying new video games. I got there. It's just, I get it. If you got a 15-minute like reprieve, you can just sit there and play something for 15 minutes. But to get into Assassin's Creed, that's such a long story. To get into South Park, it's an RPG. It's such a long story. I want to play Call of Duty. I want to play the new WWE 2K18. I want to create a Travis Spectacular. And with
You're talking 2 hours right
that's
there.
What I'm saying,
Yeah,
dude. That's what I'm saying. That's like 8 weeks just on the entrance. Because I play it because I play 15. If I play it, it's 15 minutes at a time. And so I'm just like on that UFC. If I play a video game at all, it's 10 minutes at the most. I'll play 2 matches and then that's it. And I get up and do something else.
See, and last week when I was playing, I limited it basically to the last 30 minutes to an hour that I was awake.
I'm done. I don't even. Yeah, I'm trying to even watch TV when I go to bed, like to get good sleep. You need good sleep so you have good energy, and it's better. I don't know, and I've always slept with a TV on.
Yeah, I used to. I don't now.
Anymore.
Yeah, I got the fans on. And
good. Little white noise. It's
Yeah.
good. so you can't hear yourself
That's the white noise.
clanging into the microphone.
Yeah. Put the new headphones in.
God damn it.
That's because you're so close to it. You're moving around and you want to look at everybody else and you're talking like that.
Fucking road running. It's Kylie.
Spark.
Doug.
Thump. See, that's why you're the eagle. You're always paying attention. You're the eagle. Yeah. Speaking of, did we talk about that already?
What?
Did we talk about my gifts today?
No.
No. These journals.
Let's talk about it.
These journals that I got you guys, since we're on the topic of making the most out of every 24. Part of that is definitely journaling the stuff that you've done for the day. Right now, I've been doing, for the last month, I've been journaling my physical activity every day and writing notes about how I felt about the workout, if I felt weaker, if I felt stronger, and I also I want to start doing not enough, apparently. I don't want to start enough to start food journaling, but part of my activity journal every single day is I write down exactly what I do in the gym, and I do that in order to hold myself accountable to that. I can do that. That I can do that. Look, you did it. You did it this day. You can do it this day. Doesn't matter what you feel like. you got to get it done. That physical activity gets
Just
you
show
make your
up.
part. Yeah, I'm 197 pounds. 197 pounds. Last time I weighed myself on Friday. I want to be 195 by next Saturday. I think I'm going to do that.
You could literally do that today.
I know.
Actually, you probably will.
Yeah.
You're going to hot yoga. Yeah.
Probably.
Drop like 3 pounds.
You'll probably be at about 194, 193.
See, that's what I'm saying. Make it
Like
drink. I already do. It's like clockwork. I'm really like I'm on that. I'm
Schedule.
optimal. I'm optimal. I'm operating optimally right now. And it's wonderful, dude. It's a wonderful way to be, and I just feel like so thankful and grateful for the clarity that I have, especially from like the Apple Brain. This morning I had I was able to remember a name. It was right off the top of my head. We were talking about a movie or something, and the recall was just there. It was Julie Louis-Dreyfus, the other sister, whatever. It was something really simple like that, but it was just there, and nobody else at the table knew what it was or could remember who it was. It was some oddball movie. I can't remember it right off the top of my head. So the recall isn't doing too hot right now, but that was probably because I'm talking about 75 different things. But I had it, and it was there, and operating optimally because of the good sleep, the good diet.
I have been,
activity.
this week I have done much better about maintaining my eating from 2 to 10.
There you go. It's just 2 to 10? You haven't been going from 12? You've been doing it from 2? Okay.
Accidentally, because usually when my alarm goes off at noon for me to eat, I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't have time to stop right now. So, okay, we'll just go to 2. Juice and dudes.
Yeah. So what I would like you guys to do is to write down your goals. I challenge you to do this. It's not. You'll benefit from it if you do it. You will see benefit from it if you do it. Write down an activity you want to hold yourself accountable to, a change that you want to make for the betterment of your life, of yourself. Write that activity down every day. Write down that you've done it every day. Write down, make it, if you want to just start small, the making your bed thing. Or that in order to be, you want to have a cleaner house, so you would do 1 room a night after work, or you just and make a list of things. You clean the bathroom tonight.
Also did my sit-ups every day this week. Wasn't able to do the push-ups and the squat thrust because of my heel.
Okay.
I remember I told you when you guys came over.
Yeah.
I was like, man, of course it happened Monday morning.
On your knees, bro.
I'm not doing girl push-ups.
Hey, they're better than no push-ups. You can do 50 of them if it's that easy. Just do a bunch of them until you get a workout in, until it makes your chest go. And then squats, something that'll work your squats that don't involve your heels. That'll work your thighs. That doesn't involve your heels.
There's not much you can do. Like you can basically sit in a chair and do leg lifts.
What you can do is fire hydrants. Fire hydrants and
what's fire hydrant?
Like it's you're on all fours, you're on your hands and knees, and you take your right leg and you extend it like a dog going piss on a fire hydrant.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Do 20 of those on each side.
Well, that's more for the adductors.
And then do lifts where you kick your leg straight back and keep it at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Keep it 90 degrees and then raise it till it's straight up. And that'll work your thighs. That'll work your glutes.
Yep.
That'll tighten up this part right there.
I'm gonna get that fat booty.
You can mount. You can mount where you're standing there and you just activate all your muscles and you just stand there and do it for a minute. It's a yoga pose.
Yeah,
it's a yoga pose, and you just stand there.
Just do that Roman chair.
Make yourself
do that Roman chair sit.
You can do that. You can do that. You can do. You can just mount. Just activate everything. You turn all your muscles on.
I used to do
about every one of them. I'm doing it right now as we speak.
I used to do Roman chair sits. Like when I was wrestling, I remember doing Roman chair sits holding 2 encyclopedia books, like the A and the M and the S and the T in my hands, leaning against the wall and just sitting there and sweat just pouring down my fucking face.
You don't have to do a wall sit. That's probably pretty hard for you right now at your fitness level. So don't
I can still do it.
It's just not very long. It's just not going to be
Now my heel
You're gonna
pain's
push
starting
in.
to go away.
That's what you'd have to
So,
push into your heel.
yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I'm trying to think of things.
This week,
that are
I'm going to
good
be,
for you.
like, the other thing I've started doing is in the morning when I wake up, it's not so bad. So I've been working on those arch stretches and then stretching out my heel before that pain really kicks in. So, but yeah, I know once I start working out solidly again, that plantar fasciitis pain is going to go away as I'm losing weight.
Pose. Child's pose. You just on your knees, on your butt's on your heels, on your knees, and you just stretch. You stretch out, and
I can't put my butt on my heels.
you just get as close as you can,
Yeah.
and then stretch out. You sit down on your heels and then stretch out your side right here. It's one of the greatest things in the morning time. That's what's so awesome about yoga is it
looks like the Muslim
back.
prayer.
It builds your back. Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is.
Yep, toward Mecca.
You can do it wherever. That's part of the reason why they're so alert. Yeah. Well, my dolphin isn't very good yet, but
Is that where you're on your stomach and your arch, like you try to
that's
get
upward dog.
the top half and bottom half, you try to arch up off the floor?
No,
Yeah.
That's something else. I'm still
Jesus
such a
Christ.
beginner.
Oh,
I've only
that
been
is-
doing it for a couple of months. I'm acting
Like you're not even
like,
pushing. Like that's upward dog where you're pushing up and
Yeah,
your
you
legs
got
are
all-
straight back.
Well,
I'm
no,
talking
your legs
about-
are off the ground in upward dog also.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm talking about where your hands are up off the ground, your legs are up, and you're basically trying to
just on
hold
your hips.
with your solar plexus.
Yeah, it's a core.
Yeah. Oh
Those
God.
are Supermans.
Oh,
I don't know what the asana is of that.
It's yeah.
That's a pose. Asana is a yoga. It's the Sanskrit for pose. Asana.
Okay.
Yeah. Asana. Yeah, it's such a beautiful art. It's really wonderful. There's such beauty in the shapes that the body can take. That's why I've grown such an appreciation for yoga as well as bodybuilding this year. Because to become a master at either one of those disciplines, it takes a lot of hard work. It's fucking gorgeous. A bodybuilder's physique, I believe, even the 265-pound, 300-pound ones when they're done right, are phenomenal to look at. It's a spectacle. It's a beautiful thing to look at. It's an art. It's a piece of art. It's not even the person you're looking at. It's the form of the human body taken to the extreme.
Right.
That's what that is. And it's through a lot of intense work that nobody knows about except for the couple of thousand or so people that have gotten to that level. It's something
Like
that's
everything.
such a small, the 99.9% of
Everything they
don't
do
know
down to the
about.
last gram of food is measured and weighed.
Yeah, that's the discipline that it takes
Everything.
to get to that type of to get to 265 pounds with 4% of body fat.
2%.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's
It's ridiculously intense. How,
and the
and
fact
to
that
be
they're able to perform
or to be
on
a
stage
yogi,
in that condition when they're so near death during a
suck
competition.
down and everything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, because all the diuretics and everything.
and that's.
shrink
Oh,
the
I don't know.
skin.
I don't know exactly what goes into all of that stuff, but it's a lot of sacrifice. And
Rough.
and there is a saying that goes into the bodybuilding community that I've heard recently. It's you want to live 30 years as a lion or 70 years as a sheep, or 40 years as a lion or 70 years as a sheep.
Yeah.
And that's what the mindset is. You go hard, you build that big old heart up to support all that muscle, and then hopefully you can get small again, because that's coming. You'll be able to keep up that lifestyle forever, and it's such a sacrifice. There's a huge sacrifice. You go through a lot. You miss a lot.
I'll tell you something that.
It's hard work, but to follow a dream like that,
Oh,
I
yeah.
admire that. I admire that dedication, the level of craziness that you have to have in order to be that type of dedicated.
One thing that stands out to me the most is when you see NFL offensive and defensive linemen who had to maintain between 315 and 360 pounds for their entire career. And an offensive lineman can easily have a 15 to 20-year career if they don't have any detrimental injuries. But then you see guys like Alan Faneca, who was perennial Pro Bowl. Like, he went to 9 straight Pro Bowls with the Steelers. Like,
What does he weigh now?
During his time with us, Alan Faneca was about 330 pounds. And immediately, the year after he retired, he dropped down to like 240.
Wow.
And that's what he maintains now, is between 230 and 240, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he just looks like a different person. And it's like,
He ate for purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even in the off season, he would drop down to like 280, 290, and then that 2 months before training camp, he would have to up it again and get back to that 320, 330 mark.
Eating like that, healthy, you are near throwing up all the time. George St. Pierre recently went through something similar.
Yep.
Getting up to 185 pounds. He ate because he ate so much to keep on all that body mass, to keep on all that muscle, that he was miserably full all the time. He was full all the time. Instead of
doing it healthy. Yeah, instead of doing weight gainer shakes and mass shakes, doing it with healthy food, it's almost impossible.
6,000 calories worth of nutrient-dense food.
It's almost impossible.
And with spinaches and kales and fucking chicken breast and shit, it's hard to do that and eating that much to gain that much weight. And honestly, they felt like he was going to walk around at 200 pounds. He walked around at the same weight that he walked around at when he fought at welterweight. After he cut down, he was 202, 203. He only gained back up to 190 pounds day of the fight. Where he's usually at when he fights at welterweight. So he was pretty much the same size that he was when he fought at welterweight. Even though he looked way bigger. He looked a lot bigger.
He looked massive.
Yeah, he looked thick.
But
he looked
seeing
really
George St. Pierre at 190 pounds, we're not used to.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, he...
Well, no, the day of the fight, he's usually 190 pounds at welterweight. That's what I was saying. They thought he was going to go back up to 200.
Oh, I got you.
He cut the weight.
Well, I mean, in that, it wasn't where he had to cut all the way down like he normally does, and then puts that weight on. So he legitimately still had probably a little bit of bloat to him, and which that's going to fill you out. I mean, he's muscle anyway.
Yeah, he is.
And so
muscle.
Right. And so when you've got that proper hydration with that dense of muscle, yeah, man, it makes you look massive. Like
I hope he quits fighting. Actually,
look at Apollo Crews. How does Apollo Crews not weigh 250 pounds? When I look at that dude, I'm like, there's no way in hell you're like 205, 210 pounds. That does not make sense in my brain. He looks like he should weigh 240, 250 pounds, doesn't he?
He's huge.
Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. Tony Nese looks like he should weigh 240, 250 pounds.
No.
Yeah.
He's small. Tony Nese looks small. He's just
I don't think so.
His physique is fantastic. He's like, I got 8 reasons I'm better than you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Count them out.
8. That's so awesome. I love guys that have fun with numbers. Like Ty Dillinger.
33 1/3%.
Scott Steiner. Yeah. Scott Steiner.
Greatest math lesson ever.
And then my man Tony Nese, the premier athlete. I love his deal. I love his deal. That was so great.
He looks like a jacked Damian Sandow.
Right.
If Damian Sandow...
If Damian Sandow got small but super toned.
Do
CrossFit fucking 8 times a day. My name is Damian Sandow. 8. I got 8 reasons here. Man, I love that guy. I loved Mizdow. That was one of my favorite gimmicks of all time.
And what's funny is, I remember how much I hated Miz still at that time. I was just like, fuck this.
He was one of the best
and now, I can look back at Miz's entire body of work, like from that first championship on, and I'm like, he really has been fantastic.
He's always been great.
Like, I fell into a true Mark's perspective of, oh God, I hate the Miz. I can't stand him.
Shit heel.
Yeah, and now, still in my opinion, he is the best thing on Raw. He is. He just is.
That's a good thing. That's a good opinion.
Who is more entertaining than him?
Week in, week out?
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
No, shut up.
I was going to say that.
Stop it.
See, that's 2-1.
Stop it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, I will give Roman his due. Roman has finally stepped up and hit that next level.
I'm saying, he's been fantastic this year.
Yeah.
Superstar of the year.
I think that should be The Miz.
That's pretty close.
I honestly, look, first of all, you got Brock Lesnar as the Universal Champ. Nobody cares about that title now. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares.
Whenever Samoa Joe went after it, I cared. Whenever Braun Strowman went after it, I fucking cared.
I cared when Braun went after it.
I did care. So that's not true.
But,
it's not true.
But let's look at the Intercontinental title. When he says he has restored the grace and the importance of the Intercontinental, he's not exaggerating.
He's held it since WrestleMania, basically.
Yeah. And he's not exaggerating when he says
it. Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
He's pretty much held it since then.
That is the premier title in the entire company right now. No, don't. Stop it. Stop. The U.S. title.
No.
What?
Kalisto's about to beat Baron Corbin for it, I think.
Kalisto's on.
Or is it
AJ beating Jinder on SmackDown, that was huge for them. They should do things like that again.
That was good, though.
14 years it had been since we had seen a title change on SmackDown.
Yeah.
14 years.
Who was the last person to do it?
Wasn't it The Rock?
Trivia question. Do you know?
Oh, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar over... Hold on. Over... JBL? Was it Kurt? No, it was JBL.
I don't know who was over, but it was Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I know that it was Brock Lesnar. I remember that. Cause I remember...
Was it Hulk Hogan? Was it the one that he made him bloody?
Oh, and then wiped it on himself? Yeah. Maybe.
Because Hogan got the belt. Didn't he get the belt from him?
Yeah, he did.
And then Brock Lesnar took it off of him?
Tortured him, yeah.
Or I know that Brock Lesnar beat the shit out of Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Dude, when he made Hogan bleed and wiped Hogan's blood down his chest.
I know.
It was brutal.
Was that pre or post cock tattoo on his chest?
Pre. He didn't get that until after the Minnesota Vikings cut him, and that's when he said he felt like there was a knife at his throat. Like, every day. He had to do something else. He had to do something. And that's when he ended up going to New Japan.
And getting slapped.
And then...
slapped him in the neck with a dick.
Why?
I didn't understand it. But I would never say that to his face.
Right?
I'm saying that here. No, you wouldn't.
I mean, whatever. Just like punch me. Who cares?
Make me rich and famous.
No, that's not how I want to get famous. I don't want to get famous from having a fucking
cinder block smashed into your head.
Every time it rains for the next life of me.
You got a migraine?
Yeah, it's like,
fire. Like,
you got metal in your jaw.
Dude, that'd be so bad.
Not worth the $87,000 that you'll get for it.
Get my bars on
$87,000.
Burger fried, chicken thigh.
What the fuck just happened?
I spit them bars on a mic with a metal mouth. It's over. Tell me ironwork.
Always sounding like
Ironwork?
Ironwork.
Always sounding like there's a little bit of feedback in there, and just be like,
emergency alert.
just do it. You just do spit your bars. This is exactly what it sounds like.
Chicken wing, burger fried, chicken fried. We can do this, baby. Hey, you want it?
Oh my god. What the fuck is happening?
Well, this is where we went.
Yeah.
This is where we went this week. That's the best thing.
But yeah, so this coming week, you know, I gotta work this week, and then like Friday starts my vacation. I'm gonna start getting my sleep pattern adjusted to.
You can do that today. You're gonna start it next week, though.
Yeah, next weekend. Then yeah, because I don't want to fuck with it during a work week. And then get fucked up and.
Sure.
But I'm gonna try to get it set to where I'm sleeping from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Get up at 4, go to the gym, come home, shower, be on my morning conference call in time.
Boom. All day. That's it.
Yeah.
4 o'clock's the fucking most productive hour of the day.
AM.
4 a.m. You can get more done because nobody is fucking talking to you at 4 a.m.
Nobody's up that much.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nobody's posted on Facebook.
When I go to the gym, there may be 2 or 3 people there.
No distractions.
And they ain't fucking with me.
No distractions at all.
And I know that I've got my first week mapped out where Monday, Wednesday, Friday, well, actually every day I'm going to do a mile to start, like just on the elliptical, do a mile to start, get my heart rate up, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday also end with a mile.
You want to keep your heart rate, you want to keep it steady. And just as long as you do that, keep it high and steady. That's what you want your cardio to do. Do you think it's going to take you 20 minutes to do a mile?
No.
You should do cardio for 20 minutes straight. Some type of cardiovascular endurance exercise for
running an 8 to 9 minute mile on the elliptical for me gets my heart rate up in the 190 range.
Well, then you're going too fast. You're too old to do that to yourself.
No.
That's the truth, man.
No, for
you
real.
don't want your heart rate that high. You want it 170. That's around the max that you need to have it operating.
See, I feel good when it's up like that.
But you're only doing it for 9 minutes. That's not enough. That's not a long enough period of time to increase cardiovascular endurance. You want to do it for 20 minutes, brother. I'm telling you, that's the minimum. You don't want to do anything for just. You don't want to. You're not going to ever be able to just.
So if I do it for 20 minutes, that means I'm going to run about 2.5 miles.
And you'll do that on the elliptical. That's
Yeah.
no impact.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
just get 20 minutes in. If that's the pace that you can keep, just do it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What's
funny is when I split up my miles, when I would do the first mile and then go do my workout and come back and do the second mile, the second mile every single day, no joke, was always 30 to 45 seconds faster than the first one.
Yeah. Well, do it at the same time. Get all your cardio out of the way, then lift. That's the way I was doing it because that gets your heart rate up. You're already there instead of having to do a warm up and cardio. Because a lot of bodybuilders do their cardio at the end of the workout so they can have all the strength that they have.
Oh, yeah, no,
lifting.
That's not what I'm going for.
Exactly. So you're doing the cardio first.
I want all of my movement to be deeply impacted by an elevated heart rate.
Exactly. So you want to elevate your heart rate. The cardiovascular endurance exercise, 20 minutes. And if you only do a mile and a half, but you do it for 20 minutes. It takes you however long, monitor it.
Which, doing it for 20 minutes straight, I may have to slow my pace down and monitor it better.
Yeah.
Because
just as long as you
if I go for 20 minutes straight, I know I can hit 210, 220 in heart rate zone. I've done that in a 12-minute run.
Oof. Yeah.
But the crazy thing is when I do that, when I get off of the elliptical or the arc trainer and I've hit that 200 plus heart rate range, I feel like I am roided out of my fucking mind. Like,
that's the thing, I don't know.
I can literally walk straight over after doing a run like that, walk over to a deadlift bar that's already got 405 on it, and snatch that bitch up 3 times like it's nothing.
Yeah. Look out. So you do that, you get that, I don't know. I operate, it's from my research and everything that I've read.
But I'm also betting you have a lower resting heart rate.
Oh yeah, it's in the 40s.
See, my resting is 72.
That's high. Yeah. It should be like in the 60s. You want it in the 60s. That's what that cardiovascular endurance exercise will do for you. You want a lower heart rate. You want the blood.
And the other thing was, it was easy for me to hit that one night. Like, okay, whenever I say I hit 200, that was in the beginning of when I started working out.
Okay.
By the 3-month mark, I couldn't get above 175, 180 without damn near killing myself.
Yeah,
like, it was awful. Yeah. But then my resting heart rate was like 58.
Yeah.
Some shit like that. Like,
that's a good resting heart rate.
Dude, I have some friends that, no joke, have a resting heart rate of like 33.
Yeah.
You're almost dead.
They're marathon runners, probably.
Yeah, right? And it's like, how in the fuck? 33. But then you'll watch them get on a machine, and within 5 minutes, they can shoot that heart rate from 33 up into the 160, 170. And I'm like,
that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. But mine's, the lowest time that I've ever measured it was recently. It was 42. I've seen it between 42 and 50, between there. But 42 was a resting heart rate that I got at work 2 or 3 weeks ago. And
do you have a Fitbit?
No, it's just an app on my phone. It's a Samsung S Health, actually.
Right. I have a Fitbit. I need to start wearing it again.
That's a way to monitor your stuff too, and because you want to keep that heart rate as low as you can, as healthy. You want to keep it low for health reasons, because you have that cardiovascular endurance. It makes such a difference in everything, in every aspect of your life. I have increased, the awareness, the physical prowess part, everything. Dude, I'm telling you, it works out really well. The amount of energy that I have for activities when I get off of work is there. Whenever I go to work, I'm never tired. When I don't get that midday lull, none of that stuff happens. I don't eat until 2 o'clock. There's the intermittent fasting.
I need to.
It doesn't happen because I eat good whenever I do eat. I eat nutrient-dense food I try to eat it every single day. Every single day I'm at work, I definitely do. That's 100%. But on Wednesdays and Sundays when I'm not at work, sometimes I'll insert my cheat meals on those days.
I need to see if I can stop in someplace and get weighed this week, to find out what my weight is.
There's a scale right on the way to Henderson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stab you. This motherfucker.
I think you can get out.
Shut the fuck up.
You get in the car. You pull the car up.
God damn it.
You stop and then weigh, the car when you're in it, and then you get out of the car and then weigh the car again, and then you can just subtract. I'm not saying that you by yourself would activate the truck stop scale.
Motherfucker. Motherfucker.
I'm not saying
fuck
that.
You, Dirtnap.
No. But then you were saying you were looking for a place to weigh. That was the first place that popped into my head.
I thought about a gym. That's the first thing that popped in my head.
The Y has a pretty good scale.
Fuck off.
Like 5, maybe.
How many times can I get it to go around in the circle?
You broke up my camera!
I was actually just thinking about stopping at urgent care or something like that, and he was like, "Hey, look, I'm not cigarette. Can you just weigh me real quick?
There you go.
I just need to find out what I weigh, and I'll be on my way."
That's awesome.
But yeah, find out what I weigh, and I want to see how quickly I can drop below 300.
So you're over 300 right now, you think?
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if I weigh every bit of 350, 360 right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the joke about the weight scale is kind of hurting me now. I ain't dirty
It's not hurting me.
Motherfucker. Yeah, no.
It's not hurting me.
How much did you think I weigh? See, that is one good thing, because whenever I tell people I weigh about 350, 360, exactly, because my body carries it differently.
I thought I didn't think you were 350.
Exactly. We put people who weigh the same as me next to me. You can absolutely see a noticeable difference.
Whoa.
There is a huge visual difference.
How tall are you?
6'3".
You're 6'3". So you need to be around 240.
And the most comfortable I've ever been was between 260 and 285. That was great. I was in really good shape, though.
Okay.
Really good shape.
I bet you could do that. I bet you could do 6'3", man. That's not a
6'3". Could you imagine me 6'3", 240 if I'm dieseled again? That's scary.
It's not an imagination thing.
That's scary shit.
That's 120 pounds. You could do that in a year. You could lose 10 pounds a month. You could do that if you said it and you believed it, and you could do that in a fucking year. 10 pounds a month is not impossible. It's not for you, not for your body.
Oh yeah, no. Stuff. Well, I went from 380 to 307 in 6 months.
Okay, there you go. You're almost back up there. That's when I decided I was back. I was about 15 pounds away from my heaviest. When I decided, yep, this is fucking not good. I need to do something different.
I know that I'm almost there again because my clothes are starting to hit that point.
Where
I was.
Hot Topic's going to start charging you even more for that next shirt.
Well, the fact that I can't go into Hot Topic and buy a T-shirt there now because they don't keep 3X in the store. Yeah,
that says. Whereas, tell you something, brother.
Right, and whereas whenever I did
juice.
Yeah, guess what I did not have this week.
Orange juice. I'm going to narrow it down.
Well, actually, the first juice that I had was yesterday, but from Sunday through Friday, no juice. It was water.
All right.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Journal your liquid intake this week. Journal it every day. If that's the only thing that you do, that's your journal. And a quote. You write down a quote that inspires you. For courage, for commitment, for perseverance, for discipline, for self-esteem, for bravery, for valor, for any of those a trait that you admire, anything that, or a person, or if Bruce Lee, or fucking Aristotle, or Socrates, or Yangtze, or somebody. But write a quote down every single day that inspires you. Write your goals down every single day. Do your water intake and your physical activity if you want to. At least that part. At least do those journal things that you want to hold yourself accountable to. You said it on the show enough times.
Yeah.
Let's quit don't do the juice this week. Just drink at least half a gallon of water a day. Document it. Document it.
My water intake.
Yeah.
My drink intake.
Okay. There you go.
Like
Something that you want to improve.
One water. One whiskey and sour.
Okay.
I did have 2 White Russians this week.
And you had some of that
Apple
ale.
Apple Ale. I did. I had some beer. Yep.
Is that what is that?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Tuesday. That's when you guys came over.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday though.
It's Tuesday.
Are you saying ham or pan?
Is there
There's a D on the end. God damn it.
I love it. I love it when you do that every single time. So the Steelers are playing at noon today?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well,
Playing the Colts. So we know how that goes. That means Ben
Antonio
Roethlisberger
Brown.
could set another record.
Antonio Brown's about to go fuck off on your fantasy teams. Hopefully you're not playing him this week, folks.
Right?
Yeah.
He'll probably have 3 touchdowns for 280 yards receiving.
I wonder if our audience are big fantasy footballers.
Do we have an audience?
We do. Hey, man, by the way, we are ahead of our projected numbers. For this
Fantastic.
month.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
So people like this shit?
They do, man.
Nope.
That's impossible.
Well, I don't know if they like it, but they listen. Hey, if there are 2,000 people per episode that are listening and are pissed off and they hate it, thank you. Because they're still listening.
Chakras.
Oh, snap.
I'm getting into it. I'm looking at. I'm researching it. I love the artwork that's surrounding the.
How do you find a chakra?
There's actually several of them.
Yeah, there's a diagram.
There's several of them.
And
It starts at your crown and it goes down to your base.
Yeah, there's ways that
Sacral
you
base.
can meditate and focus in on each one.
There's one of your solar plexus, the third eye, the crown, it's connected to the heavens. Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
The stars? Oh,
It's
You want to know the quickest way? Do DMT.
What?
What was that?
DMT.
Dimethyltryptamine.
Yeah.
It's a hallucinogen. No, that's LSD.
This is DMT is like
the spirit molecule.
yeah, it's 10 times stronger than acid.
It's pretty.
Like
It's heavy.
Molly?
It's heavy. It's
No.
no. It's a hallucinogen.
it's natural.
It's a
It's
hallucinogen.
naturally occurring.
It occurs in your the
All of us make it. Plants make it.
Yeah.
Like it's
So
you can release your natural brain. You can release your natural stores of the chemical that is released by DMT in your brain through elevation tanks.
Yeah.
Through submerging yourself in an elevation tank. There's a bit of
So when you're in Colorado,
what
elevation tank.
I'm saying, dude, I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff on
don't worry. Dirtnap's going to be plenty elevated in Colorado.
pretty fun to be part of that Mile High Club. As soon as I get off the plane, my guy from the Army is gonna be there waiting on me, and our flight lands. My flight is supposed to, as long as everything lands on time, which I've checked the weather in Nashville, Minneapolis, and Denver, which is the cities I'll be flying into and out of. Everything looks good so far. We're hoping for an arrival at 3:28 p.m. Mountain Time. It should take an hour, or somewhere, hopefully under an hour, to get my bags and to check out my rental car. My best friend from the Army is going to be at the airport awaiting my arrival, so he shall be there prepared. Hopefully, we can get everything taken care of by the magical time of
420.
4:20 on Wednesday to be there set the world on fire. It'll be great.
In Denver, Colorado.
In Denver, we're gonna tear it down like right in the parking lot. No. We're gonna smoke the walls down.
Burn it down.
Yes.
I guess that Kenny Omega versus Jericho thing.
Oh my God! We talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be magical.
It was
Also, did you see that Chris Jericho should be returning to WWE ahead of predicted schedule, which will bring even more focus to this? And there's talks that there might be a working
I feel
relationship.
like that's what I'm saying. I feel like the WWE has kind of, in a way, and they've always kind of done this, in a way, have been like, there's enough pie for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just my pie. He did.
Look what they're doing with ICW.
Right.
They're building them up. They're building all of these other companies.
Triple H getting in that ring, walking out down that little bitty baby ramp.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's huge. Those people that were there, how fucking crazy must that have been for them?
How cool was that? Yeah. How cool. That was very
He showed up in ICW in Wales. Pete Dunne's in the ring, the bruiserweight, the UK champ.
Fucking man.
Yeah.
I don't like his shirt, but he's the fucking man.
Pete Dunne.
I would have a
Pete
shirt.
Dunne needs to be main roster WWE. I don't care if you put him on Raw or SmackDown. Skip the 205.
He's only like 14 years old, though.
Yeah, whatever.
He's like 22.
Yeah,
Dude.
no. He's so good.
Him and Tyler Bate both. Like,
They got to be on 205.
fuck that.
I'm telling you.
Fuck that. We're
They'll
past
go
that.
through it.
We're past
but
that.
that's the thing.
AJ Styles should be on 205.
No.
Why?
Because he's 230
No, he's 218.
or whatever. So Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne both need to go through 205 Live, wrestle there for a couple of years, and then go to the main roster because we've got so much time left in them. We've got so many ways that their stories can go. We can learn about them and grow with them on that show. That's a reason to feature those.
I would rather
guys.
see them in NXT.
I'd rather see them in 205 Live, fucking going in front of big crowds, working, doing the thing. Do you ever give that show a chance, man? There's some really funny stuff on it.
I have. I just can't. I know
Does
what
it feel like main event?
It really does. I know what these guys are capable of, and then I watch what they do in the ring, and I'm like, unimpressed. Unimpressed. I've seen what these cats can do.
Yeah. They need their own brand like NXT has.
Yeah.
It needed to be more of a brand.
Yeah. 205 is just an extension of fucking
It's like
Raw.
You're right in a way that you're right because they only feature 205 matches on Raw pay-per-views. They do them on SmackDown pay-per-views. Yeah, I get you.
And it's just but the big point for me is
the Divas division.
Right.
It's a division. It's not its own brand.
Right. I know. Again, it boils down to I know what these guys can do,
right.
And then I watch what they do, and then I'm like,
whenever it was presented as its own brand, the
Cruiserweight Classic
was one of my favorite things.
Fucking
that was one
real.
of my favorite things in 2016.
Yeah.
For wrestling.
That is one of the best things that has happened in WWE in the past 20 years.
Yeah. Absolutely. Top to bottom.
Dude, that was
Jack
magic.
Gallagher, Cedric Alexander, fucking Grand Metalik, fucking TJ Perkins, yeah, Tony Nese.
Brian Kendrick. Oh god damn it.
Kota Ibushi.
Oh dude, Kota Ibushi, which everyone knew he was not coming to sign.
Yeah.
He was on loan. He's another dude that makes way too much money outside of WWE to justify coming to WWE. Yeah, man, but I mean, yeah, we got to see what these guys can do, and now they're first of all
Akira Tozawa's German suplex
that Brock Lesnar should watch on repeat and be like, oh.
So that's how it's done.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
Oh, I can just...
Every time Akira Tozawa snaps off a German suplex, it looks like the person that he did it to should die immediately.
They fold. It's really good.
And he does it at like 150 miles per hour. Like, there is no... He literally spins around, and by the time his hands touch, the dude is already halfway in the air. He doesn't even have to lock his hands to make it happen. It's retarded.
It's beautiful.
It really...
And that's another part of that type of symmetry and the physics that are involved and the acrobatics that are involved in professional wrestling. That's some of part of the reason why I enjoy it as well. That's part of the reason why.
So let me ask you this: if they brought in Ricochet and Will Ospreay, would you want them relegated to 205?
I'd want that to be its own brand, man. I want 205 Live to be its own brand. I want
It
more
needs to
205 Live. It's got its own show, but it needs to
it's
be
done on Raw.
205 Live needs to be a WWE TLC, 205 Live TLC, or a 205 Live brand. It needs to have
Like
its
NXT.
own show. Exactly.
They should use the arena for NXT at Full Sail, do 205 Live there on a different day, and that's how it should be done.
I ain't doing shit on Thursdays.
Right? Dude, it can stay on Tuesday. Isn't it on Tuesdays?
Yeah, but it's after SmackDown.
That's true.
That's the thing that
So
hurts
yeah, put it on Thursday. It's only an hour.
That's the thing that hurts it too.
Or here's what you do: you run NXT, and then right after you have 205 Live. You know
I
that
don't
it's
want 205 Live to follow the developmental brand.
well, yeah,
It's hard to do that.
yeah.
That's not. You're right. That's their main roster people. So you don't do that.
Y'all seen this thing called DDT Wrestling?
Uh-uh.
Heard about this?
No.
Watched Kenny Omega like wrestle a 90-year-old girl.
Yes, it's Japanese. It's Japanese like shock wrestling. It's Japanese like comic wrestling. He did he wrestled a 9-year-old girl and a blow up doll.
Yeah.
And put the blow up doll over.
Yeah.
Jim Cornette fucking hates him for that. The stuff that he did in DDT. He fucking hates him.
Dude, the fucking instant great hit to the 9-year-old girl. I thought she fucking died.
Yeah, it was so good.
she's not getting up with that shit.
It was so good.
Well, that's like
he popped her with it.
well, that's like when the Young Bucks
just
brought
heard
that
her.
like 10-year-old kid in the ring and gave him the super kick party. That was so funny. So funny, and that kid sold it like a fucking champ.
Yeah,
He just
absolutely.
plop, straight down.
Absolutely.
Super kick! Dude, shut up. It was like Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. They all like before Adam Cole went to NXT. And it was like this dude, and they was like Ring of Honor, and like dudes kept coming in. Like, there's a new Bullet Club member. Ooh, and I'm like, and fucking super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick.
I shot at Chase Stevens last night in Owensboro. I shot at him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, him and my guy Derek Neal. So what's up? The real deal, Derek Neal, Kentucky Classic champion, best wrestler in Kentucky in 2017. No fucking shit. So I don't know how good he is compared to all the other states, but Kentucky, he's number one. By hook or by crook, that's my guy. The real deal, Derek Neal. And Chase Stevens has been to New Japan. Mike Micus, Immaculate Mike Micus, got him last night. There was a 4-way dance.
3-way, wasn't it?
It was 4-way.
Oh.
There were 4 gentlemen involved
They
in the match.
changed it.
And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed. Chase Stevens ended up taking a really good bump in the chairs. He went over the guardrail, which was a rope, and into the chairs.
Nice.
It wasn't a metal guardrail, so he couldn't brace.
Right.
So he just kind of like,
Dove over. Yeah.
And he took out a whole bunch of chairs. He was like, move, move. So I was like, all right. And then it happened. All that build up for that. And then it happened. That was it. You're welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. No,
Thanks,
it was
Dirtnap.
funny. It was good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the wrestling. And work this week was interesting.
Not at all.
Not really. It was rather not. I did a lot. I started doing the MCT oil and the Alpha Brain. So I've been on one. I've just been all over the place, bouncing off the corners and stuff. That's a really good clarity. Yeah. It really makes a difference. Cassie, unfortunately, seems to be having an allergic reaction to it. It's making her break out a little bit.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah, we need to find her another nootropic with, I don't know what it is. We're going to look at the ingredients.
Check into the 5-HTP, man.
5-HTP.
Yep.
Possibly, yeah. So a good nootropic with a different ingredient list than what's in the Alpha Brain. Hopefully, I don't know what the main thing is that's in that supplement that creates all of the positive cognitive benefits, the recall, the memory function, those types of things. But we'll find something that does have similar ingredients without the one thing, because I know it's just one simple thing that's in there that's causing the reaction. I know it can't be all of it. It can't be all of the stuff. So we just, you know, trial and error.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can find something for her. Hopefully we can find something for her that doesn't cause her. She has skin allergies. I have to buy. I've had to start buying a certain type of
soap or detergent.
detergent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Purex, Purex
yeah,
and some Downy infusions.
Era, like for me, I use Era.
Era.
Mm-hmm. And because if I use
short for Era, yeah.
No, it's just Era. Okay. ERA.
Yeah.
No, I use Era, and because if I use stuff like Tide or Gain, it breaks me out. It's horrible, yeah.
Huh. That's good stuff. That's in the red bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, depending on what part of the country you
Could be the blue bottle.
Could be blue bottle, maybe.
And it's got Oxy Boost in it.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
Billy Ray is here.
And not only that, but price-wise, it's like one of the cheapest ones, too.
Sweet. Huh?
It's like $10 for that huge fucking
Undisputed Era.
push, the dispenser bottle.
I got, Purex is what works for her. I've got some packets, the pocket packets of it.
I got Gain. I do Gain.
Do you use it? Would you use all?
I'll
give it to you.
Do you use it? Because you smell like a pile of dog shit, Knubsie.
Would you use all?
I took a nap and shit, but I came to work. So I didn't need to.
I have some all that you can have if you would like. It's like 40 things of it for 40 loads. I'll give you a bunch of loads. I'll give you a bunch of loads worth.
Dirtnap's going to give you a bunch of loads.
I don't want a bunch of loads, Dirtnap. Get out of here with this.
Alright. Well, his skin is too sensitive for my loads.
Break me out.
I wanted to offer my loads to you. I've got a lot of free loads to give.
We need to ask Cassie if she breaks out from Dave's loads.
No, she doesn't. She rubs it in. And then she throws the towel on me.
She goes in and got left in Hulk Hogan's blood.
Yeah.
Stands up like a fucking warrior, wipes it down her tits. Yeah.
No, she knows exactly why there's a dick. She's the best. Oh, yes. Hi. Awesome. That's awesome.
I love that you've agreed now that she does need to come on the show, because we do need to make that happen.
Yeah.
I think she would be funny as fuck.
She is great.
Have you ever got to meet her?
Yeah, he's met Cassie. He met her at PG's.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
He said her ass was big.
That's right.
Like, thanks. That's one of my. That's I enjoy. Yes.
Dude, she's legitimately funny too.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's fine. She's fine. Yeah, she's a good. She's
like
really
I made the determination I wanted her on the show after I went to the wrestling show with her and Dave. I was just like, okay, she's funny.
She is funny. Yeah. I talked to Bobby Osborne this morning too.
Oh yeah.
Talking about people who want to be on the show. He was talking about wanting to be on. I was like, yeah, obviously. See, where Cassie will listen to this, Bobby probably Cassie will hear this.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people want to come be on the show, but they don't know anything about the show. They don't listen to the show, and so I'm over that now.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to
be about people that actually have something to say.
Yeah, and have something on the show. Like, they understand what the show is. Like, today we talked predominantly about nutrition, fitness, UFC, and wrestling. That's just what today happened to be. And loads. Dave's loads give an allergic reaction.
No, not anymore. Not since the last show. I'm done with the series. Yeah, I can't give.
What are we talking about now?
My loads.
I don't want to use it all. I don't like all.
You don't like all? Okay.
I don't like Gain.
All right, that's cool. I'll figure out something to do with it.
If you don't, I can sell them to you for like $5 a pop.
No, I don't want your loads. I've got too many loads. I've got way too many loads. The 48% more loads in the bottle of Purex that I bought. I love that. You know what's so great? You know what's so great about one of my job is that one of the things that the manager says in an attempt to motivate us to set more appointments so they look better against the rest of the region, with appointment settings in our CRM because those reports go out to everybody in the region, apparently, whatever, Like, we have the last day. It's like, even if it's a soft appointment, no matter if it's a soft appointment where you don't really know what time they're going to come in. Like, maybe I'll come in on Tuesday. All right, that's fine. What time? I'm not sure. Maybe in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, but you don't have an exact, like, I'll be there at 1:30 on Tuesday. Just set a soft appointment. Or if you do have a confirmed time, you set a hard appointment. But make sure you set both soft appointments and hard appointments. They're like, do you have any appointments? It's like, no, I don't know. I got like a couple of semi-hard appointments. They're going to be in between like 1:30 and 4. That's so fun. I just thought that was one of the funniest things. Semi-hard appointment. It's not a soft appointment. It's not a hard appointment. It's a Knubsie slow appointment.
It's
a Chubsy slow. It's a Chubsy appointment. Then he goes to headbutting the fucking microphone again.
Well, yeah, why the fuck wouldn't he?
You guys have a good day.
Apparently his headphones have like fucking Pantera blaring through them and I'm not aware of it.
I did hear something in the headphones that kind of freaked me out and y'all didn't pay attention to it. So I was like, maybe they don't hear it.
Was it the...
Yeah, I thought it was a ghost trying to talk to me.
It's the vent, because I got this vent closed up here. So when the heat kicks on,
I was getting kind of... I'm like, seriously.
But he wasn't scared enough to say anything. He was going to suffer in silence.
I was going to say shit.
Because if it gets me, it's going to get all of us.
We're all going down.
If we want to die, we all die.
You going down with me?
We're going down like the violence on the Titanic.
That's my sister. She always, if she was in trouble, everybody was in fucking trouble.
Dragging everyone down.
Oh my god, dude. We were kids and we fucked around and smoked cigarettes. And my sister is in the living room. I think we're 12 and 11 at the time, maybe 10 and 12, whatever. My sister's in the living room puffing, and there's a cigarette lit in the ashtray, and my dad and stepmom are in the bathroom getting ready for the day. We're already ready for school and stuff. My sister grabs a cigarette out of the ashtray and starts puffing on it. It's like, ooh, I'm so awesome. Puff, 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 smoke. Stepmom walks out and catches her. Dave? My dad's named David also. Dave? Lissa's in here smoking. He comes out. The hell are you doing smoking? She's 10. The hell are you doing smoking? David does it too. First thing she says. Because she's country. You know, we're in Arkansas. Yeah. It's the 90s. David does it too. What the fuck? I'm in the living room trying to watch TV, you know, eating some Cocoa Puffs. I was like, I'm just 12. I ain't bullshitting. But I smoked cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes. I got to the point where I could actually inhale them without dying. You know, I had smoked enough to do that.
Right.
Gross. But I did. We got caught. I had to eat one, not with a filter. I had to eat one, and if I threw up, I would have got my ass whooped, and I would have had to eat another one. So I didn't throw up, but I was green.
Oh yeah.
From eating the tobacco.
The tar and all the toxins.
Melissa had to eat 2 because it was the second time she got caught smoking, and she got her ass whooped. But she still smokes to this day because you have to lead by example. And both of my parents had a cigarette hanging out of the side of their mouth whenever they said, "Don't smoke. Don't smoke cigarettes. It's terrible for you."
That sounds like my mom and dad.
I fucking hate a cigarette. I'm fucking stressed about this. Is how I deal with it. Now, for some reason, I can't help but shake whenever I fucking smoke cigarettes. It sucks, man. It sucks. I hate that so bad for my parents. I'm so glad that I made that decision. And it'll be 6 years in March. I made the decision to stop smoking cigarettes, and I don't allow any type of nicotine in my system anymore at all because it's not a good thing for you. It's not good. It's a stimulant.
Don't you drink coffee?
It's a stimulant. There's no nicotine in coffee.
No, but caffeine does the exact same thing as nicotine.
Yeah.
The exact thing.
It's right. Different names.
But the method of ingestion, is not, and it increases your blood pressure, it increases your heart rate.
So does caffeine.
All of those things, not in not at the level that a pack a day of fucking cigarettes, 1 cup of coffee a day, does not equate to a pack of fucking smokes a day.
Well, a
Nowhere near
pack
that
of
amount.
cigarettes also has other contributing factors,
Exactly.
whereas
nicotine.
nicotine
The nicotine
does not.
also, but you have to smoke it to ingest it, and that's not good for your lungs. Period. You can. I don't know if it's not as bad. It's not as bad. I'm not saying that it's any worse. That it's any worse than some other things. But I just do not allow nicotine in my life anymore in any type of form. Anybody else that wants to is fine for them. It's just not good for you. Period.
But I mean, it's medically proven that nicotine and caffeine do the exact same thing.
Where?
Every study that's been done in comparison,
Okay.
it constricts the arteries, raises blood pressure. It can cause irritability.
Like withdrawal from it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they basically they are mirrors of each other.
In ways, yes. In ways, yes, but in a lot of ways, no. I just because of method of ingestion and with the level of frequency that people ingest nicotine, as opposed to the way that I ingest caffeine, it's not. Now, if you just had a puff of a cigarette or 1 cigarette a day, it's not anywhere near as bad as having a carton or pack of cigarettes a day.
Well,
or if you just have like 3 or 4 puffs off of e-cig a day. But what a lot of people do is go through a fucking cartridge of it a day or whatever. I don't know what the method or what the frequency of ingestion is.
When this is full, this is a 10 milliliter bottle.
Uh-huh.
When this is full, this will go 8-9 days.
Okay.
Without having to refill it.
Okay. So that's 10 milliliters every 8 or 9 days. So we'll go with 9. 9 divided by 365. Yes. It's 40. It's 40. So you do 40 of those. You do 40 of those a year. So every week and a half. Every week and a half you get. It's yeah. So I don't know with what frequency that much. What that would equate to cigarettes wise, how much nicotine it would take to get the amount of nicotine that you get from that, whatever the dose is, because there's different concentrations.
Mine's 18 milligrams.
Sure, but to ingest nicotine at that frequency, it's a lot more frequent. You're keeping that going that way, where caffeine just gets you. I have 1 cup in the morning, and that's it. And I use MCT oil when I do it as well. I've just recently started doing that. So there's additional benefits and advantages to that cup of coffee. But 1 cup of coffee doesn't. If I don't have the cup of coffee, I don't have a headache. I don't get a headache from it. I don't get withdrawal symptoms from that little amount.
Well, no, it takes like 2 or 3 days for caffeine withdrawal to really set in.
Okay. Yeah.
Cigarettes are way worse because of all the other chemicals that they put in.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why you'll see people, if they got to go 4 to 6 hours without a cigarette, you start getting on edge. You're fucking, because your body's like, hey man, there's thousands of chemicals that you have made me dependent on,
right,
that you're not giving me, so I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah. That's why I used whenever I did quit.
That's why I can literally, I'll go hours sometimes while I'm driving, and forget that it's even sitting there, right. And then all of a sudden I'll be like,
nicotine was the hardest part for me, and it was how I was able to quit smoking cigarettes. First of all, I made the decision. So this is not who I am anymore. I have to make a conscious effort to change my habit, to change my response to stress, to change my response to after meal behaviors. It's the root of it. It's the root of the behavior that you have to change. Your response to reacting to stressful situations, reacting to after sex, reacting to the shit, reacting to the first thing that when you wake up, reacting to this, it becomes a part of your life to where everything that you do centers around those cigarettes. It centers around that habit that you form, whether it be good or bad. Now, where I invest my energy into positive activities, physical activities, those types of things, where I set my schedule around those activities as opposed to Well, after I wake up, I gotta have a cigarette. I gotta go outside and smoke, and that becomes part of the morning. And that takes
See,
up
and
10 or 15
the other
minutes
good thing you
of the
notice too, I'll take a drag off this, sit it down, I won't hit it again for 10, 15 minutes.
But that's, yeah, but the thing that it does is it distracts you. It distracts you from the conversation. You do ingest something that's not healthy for you. You pick that up, you put it down, you focus on that, and your focus is away from the conversation.
Oh, it's not even a focus. It's
It's by rote now. It's automatic, and that's
right. It's programmed.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's still a thing that you do have in there, because it is you're right, it is a habit, and it can become where you don't have to use your brain.
It's kind of like when you're driving.
Yep.
When you're driving, you're running through like 33 different processes.
Right. Just backing out of your driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
33 different processes that you are not consciously thinking about.
Uh-huh.
They just become automatic. Kind of like once you get into a workout regimen and everything just, you can go on that autopilot and just kind of blank out from it. Especially if you got good music, or you're listening to a podcast, listening to a conversation or whatever. You just work it out, fucking going, and not really thinking about it. That's why, man, one thing I tell people that find it hard to work out, I tell them, I'm like, find music that you like. Listen to podcasts while you work out. It will distract you, especially if it's something funny that you can laugh about. If your brain can equate, I'm doing hard-ass work, or like strenuous, stressful work on my body, but I can laugh right now, that is a huge...
You know what else? It's a
like
really
advantage.
strong theory of mine. This gives me tremendous drive to continue. Is the community of motivational talk.
Yeah.
I'm watching these videos
YouTube
by
videos.
Machiavelli Motivation.
Yeah.
And what it shows me is other people working just as hard as I'm doing it at the time.
Yeah.
It's guys in the gym pumping, lifting weights. It's guys in the gym running on treadmills and doing stuff, and guys talking to you about self-doubt, talking to you about all those times that you've been there, that you failed, talking to you about all those times that you just need to get up and go and get to work and do the work, and not allowing the weakness to take over, not allowing your brain to say, take it off now.
Well, Joe Rogan says, man.
You can stop it. You don't have to be motivated. You don't have to. Why not go and sit down? It's easier to do that.
Joe Rogan says it. Gary Vee says it. 90% of any success in your life is showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Just fucking be there. I can't think of his name. There's this black dude who's a motivational speaker, and he's talking about when you wake up and you don't feel like getting out of bed that day, you don't feel like going to the gym, go. You don't feel you kind of want to call into work. You want to take a day off, go.
That's what you need to do when you're not. When there's something there, you got to find it. We all need to be more accountable to that. We all need to do that more. Is that you don't when you don't feel like doing it, that's when you double down and fucking get it done, because that's the difference between winning and losing.
The funniest thing with me was the last time, whenever 2014, when I was in the gym, 5-6 days a week. The days that I didn't want to go and made myself go, I felt were the most productive, because I was pissed off the entire time I was there.
Yeah.
I was angry, and I didn't want to fucking be there, but I made myself go, and I was like, oh yeah. And so having anger while you're working out about, God, I just want to get this done. I want to go home. I want to take a shower. I want to fucking eat.
So you know the way that it needs to be done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You got to get back to.
I know that I can do it. It's just doing it.
But
that's and that's the other thing.
And the laziness
Right.
It causes nothing but badness. It causes it to compound and shit to happen and stuff to continue to happen that's bad, and that's.
Oh yeah.
It seems like it's everybody else's fucking fault, because it's fuck that. Look at what they're doing that's so much better than what the fuck I've got going on. Look at what he's got. Look at what they've got. Look at what she's got. Look at what they're doing. Look at where they're going. Look at what they just bought. Look at all this stuff. Look at all that. Just focus on you. Focus on improving you, and worry about you, and don't worry about what anybody else has. Try to improve one little thing about yourself, and then try to improve another, and then try to improve. Life is struggle. Life is hard. It's going to be hard for everybody.
Well, that's why I'm
the fucking trash on the floor.
That's why I'm waiting for this, having the benefit of having almost a week and a half off of work paid. That's the perfect time for me to go punish myself in the gym because
It's
then
not
I don't
punishment, man. You're
no,
optimizing.
No, you know,
yourself.
but you know what I'm saying though. The first week to 2 weeks back in the gym is a form of punishment. It absolutely is. You're punishing your body.
You're punishing your brain. Your body is trying to. Your body wants to do that shit.
Right. Well, okay, yeah. You're punishing your brain for that whole. Hey, look, we've wasted so much time. Now we're out of this fitness level. We're back down here.
Yeah, it sucks. So, the hardest part is starting, right?
And so the great thing is, me coming up on that week and a half, almost a paid time off from work, I don't have to worry about getting in and out of the car with my legs being on fucking fire. I get 9 days to adjust. Yeah, I need that. I get 9 days to get it out.
It's hard.
And get adjusted again.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt every single time you start over.
Oh yeah.
That's just the nature of it. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. We wouldn't grow. We wouldn't grow though. That's Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates, 5-time Mr. Olympia, 4-time Mr. Olympia, something like that. He would be fucking furious with himself if he could take a shit in comfort 4 days out of the week. He worked legs 1 day, and if he said if I could take a shit in comfort and my legs didn't hurt getting up and down off of that toilet, I was mad at myself. If it didn't hurt, he got so used to his legs being sore all the time because he busted his ass. What did he need to do? There wasn't nothing starting about it. You've got to continue to challenge yourself. Once something gets easy, you got to push. You got to push even more. You've got to grow. I generally go to that uncomfortable place every time.
Yeah, I generally have to change my workout regimens about every 6 to 8 weeks. Like I have to completely revamp everything and change what I'm doing. Some things I will drop out of it and do other things that are kind of like it, but work my body in a different way. And then do that for 6 to 8 weeks, and then go back to the original regimen. That way, you don't hit that plateau. You're not just it doesn't.
Well, dude, you're not going to plateau for 2 years, brother. You won't plateau. You won't stop. And
I could plateau in a year
if you keep on your diet and keep on your workouts and increase weights incrementally in small amounts by even 2.5 pounds. You will not plateau. You can keep the same workout regimen. All your body will do is continue to tone itself. Your physique will get better. How do you mean plateauing? By like not losing any more weight? By not
plateauing? I mean, like, so I've had this happen way back when, but I did the same workout regimen every day for 6 months. And what was amazing for the first 3 or 4 months, month 5 and 6. Saw no results, no gains. No, I just hit a ceiling.
You didn't lose.
There was no weight loss.
Okay.
There was no weight able to be gained in my lifts.
Okay.
It was
so do you think it was because of the workout regimen that you didn't gain or lose any weight or gain any strength or gain any muscle?
Oh, absolutely. Because after I changed everything up that next month,
it was the workout. It wasn't. It didn't have anything to do with diet or anything like that. Were you counting all that stuff?
Yeah, still ate exactly the same.
Okay.
I just had to change it because my body got so used to everything. But the problem was that muscle memory, like I literally hit a ceiling of what I could do.
Okay.
Like we would even try 5 pounds, like shifting 5 pounds on certain lifts, and there's just nothing to it. Was just, God damn it, I can't get past this.
Mental.
It may have been, but once I changed it up, getting significant percentage boost again. Okay. And then so what I did there was about every 2 months.
Was that exercise program harder than the one that you went from?
No. It was just different. Your body only has so many muscles. You're working out the same things, but there are different ways that they can be worked. Mm-hmm. And so that's what it is getting away from muscle memory. And I think that a lot of people try to include, throughout their week, they try to include every type of way to work a muscle, and that's actually detrimental to them. Like, that's when people really hit a wall too soon.
I don't know. A lot of people keep the same routine for years at a time, and grow. A lot of people do that.
And then you see tons of other people who do the same routine, and they had great results in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, nothing. They're just stuck at whatever they're at now, and they look however they look. And people have that mentality of, well, I've been doing this. This should work. I'm just stuck here. No, you have to change what you're doing now. Your body's gotten used to it.
Work harder. You just work harder. Add more weight to it. It's the same compound movements you're saying. The same compound. You don't go from doing squats to just doing the leg machine. I don't know. That's where I'm saying is if you keep the same major compound movements in there, there's no way to not gain. There's no way to not grow. You do squats, you do deadlifts, you do bench press, you do pull-ups. Those 4 things, you keep those 4 staples. I mean, if you change up how you fine-tune the muscles, I get it. But the major compound movement lifting exercises for growth and strength, you need to keep those. You've got to keep the But what you do for where you're doing shoulders, you instead of just doing a shoulder, you need to do an overhead press. But you can, instead of just doing heavy upright rows, you can do with dumbbells instead of barbells.
See, I have a workout with dumbbells that I did at Planet Fitness, and at first people were like, "What are you doing?" And it was something that I just figured out. So I used to swing a sledgehammer a lot as stress relief.
Okay.
Sledgehammer on a tire, good stuff.
But I really just pictured you holding the sledgehammer and doing like Regan around the Rosie with it, just swinging.
But no, like I'll take a 40-pound dumbbell and grasp it with both hands, and you bring it. This is traps and lats. Like this just sets those 2 things on fire and your stomach muscles. But you bring it back behind your head and you swing it down as hard as possible. So you've got that incentive to stop because your arms pretty much extend right to your junk. So you gotta have to stop this thing at max force before you hit yourself in the fucking nuts. And then you switch your grip and you go one side, or like you grab with the right hand, and you go out all the way and extend straight out, 40 pounds. Extend it straight out, bring it back down, do it with the left, bring it back in, double grip, over the back of your head, swing it down, stop it, right arm out, left arm out. People watched me do that, and at first they were like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, I just call it like hammer flies. If you do it, I promise you're gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt.
It sounds like it.
Oh yeah. And then, but other people started doing my exercise with that, and immediately within 2 weeks, they were like, "Dude, my strength just alone in being able to do rows and stuff like that, and anything that's with traps and lats combined," they were like, "My strength is increasing," right? And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm not going to do it if it's not beneficial to me. If I don't feel like, okay, when I watch people do the pull down like this, and they, got your elbows locked in at your side, I can't do that. It does nothing for me. I have fucking tremendous forearm strength, and generally on any kind of machine, I can max it the fuck out and just sit there like it's nothing and make that goddamn thing move.
Well, that bar is too small, then.
So what I do
to activate your triceps alone.
What I do is I don't bring it all the way down. I let it go all the way up, and I pull like this, and then extend down and let it slowly go back up. Man, see how my arms are shaking? Just like, dude, just imitating that movement is fucking.
That's a compound.
Compound
exercise.
Yeah. And that's where the real struggle comes in, because then I'm down to about half the weight of what I can do.
What a great thing is for that pull down.
The farther my grip is that what you're going to talk about?
No, not for triceps. For triceps, if you use a thumbless grip and you keep your wrist, you got to keep your wrist straight. A lot of people.
That's actually easier for me. If I've got my thumb,
tricep, dude. That's tricep.
If I've got my thumb over the top,
a big fucking bar. They have these big square block bars.
Oh, you're talking about a wider bar where you can't grip it properly.
Exactly.
I got you.
That's
I know
what
what you're talking
burns that will make it to where you have to use your triceps and activate your triceps, because that's what it's not about how much weight you're moving. It's about focusing on the muscle that you're trying to build.
Right.
That's what the point of bodybuilding is the muscle mind connection.
Yeah, I've literally been able to grab that round straight bar, and I can put my hands over it like this, and just, as long as I've got it, I'll have to grip it to pull it down here, then I can straighten my hands out and still just
that's triceps.
push it.
Yeah.
But
do it 20 times. If you can't do it 10.
No,
or if you do it 10 without any struggle.
Yeah.
If you do it 10 without any struggle, and then there's other machines, overhead extensions, you can do skull crushers, you can do dips. Dips will tear your ass up, man.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
Yeah, exactly. That's bodyweight stuff. There's a ton of stuff out there for your triceps and arms and stuff. That's what I'm saying.
We gotta get going.
If you can't do push-ups, if you can't do squat thrusts, there's still a ton of exercises that you can do. Just look up bodyweight exercises that utilize your triceps. Yeah. Utilize your biceps.
Have you seen this sand training program? They call it all kinds of different stuff just to get people that are into something. Mm-hmm. Look that up sometime. Just look up sand training program, like Dragon Ball Z sand.
Okay.
Dude, you see this shit? That's like, I tried to do that a couple of months ago, and it was near the beginning of the year, and I was like, oh, I'll be able to get through 3 rounds of this.
Yeah.
Fairly easy on the beginner level. 1 round, dude. 1 round, and I was going, fuck, what is this? Mm-hmm. This is stupid. This is gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah.
So, alright, we've all got our journals. We're going to start documenting our goals.
Yes.
Keeping track of our days.
Yep.
I'm down with it.
You're going to make the most of your 24.
Yeah.
Make the most of the 24 that you got, because we have a very limited amount of time. Make the most of the 24. Yes. Get in touch with me at Dirtnap Dave on Facebook, at Dirtnap Dave, Bulldog Unchained, at gmail.com, at Twitter at Dirtnap Dave. I've got one of those now.
Oh, you on Twitter?
I'm on Instagram. I'm on all the places. So you can follow me there. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna follow you. Do all that stuff. Get at me.
As always, you can check out the Bulldog Unchained podcast on all kinds of forms of media: iTunes, Stitcher. We're now on TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube. On the YouTube channel, I've started putting up more videos. We need to do some more. We need to do some collective videos, that will be coming soon. And then there's also the Bulldog Unchained Facebook page, Bulldog Unchained on Instagram, Twitter. So yeah, get on there, interact with us. We post up things daily, especially on the Facebook.
Hashtag Bulldog Unchained.
That's right.
Hashtag that Bulldog Unchained.
Yeah.
If you want to chat with us,
All right, I am the King of Villains, Bulldog Malenko, along with Dirtnap Dave and Knubsie Slow.
Hello.
Goodbye. Have a good week, guys. We'll be back next week.
Show's over, motherfuckers.